That's a motherfucking Holy Lord. It's just another episode. Get your popcorn ready. We let the chopper explode. Hold the trigger finger steady. Make sure the go. Yo, what's up? Make some noise. Forget what you heard. Forget what you think you know. Because you just stepped into the motherfucking really show. The dopest, most official spot on the internet. This ain't your grandmama's live stream. This ain't your cousin's podcast. This is Welcome to the Crib. I am your host, the one and only T to the hour, Triple Beam. And if you're not here, then you know what? You ain't nowhere. So before we dive in, do me a quick little favor and hit the follow button. Ring that notification bell. Do what the hell you got to do. Do what you got to do and follow me on Instagram at TripleBeam01. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Welcome to the Crib. Join the live hangouts on Twitch at Triple Beam Official. Now that the whole fam's in the building, turn up the volume, get comfortable, and let's get the show started. This is Welcome to the Crib. Make some noise. Here we go, y'all. It's time for my favorite part of the week. It's time for Take It to the Crib. Week 2 was wild, and a few players absolutely dominated on the gridiron, making my decision for the NFL's Take It to the Crib top performer, a tough one. So let's break down the contenders and see who's bringing home the crown NFL Player of the Week for week 2. First up, guys, Jared Goff, QB for the Lions. The Lions get the win over the Bears 52-21 in an absolute slaughterhouse for the monsters of the Midway. They just got roasted. The Lions coming off a loss last week, right the ship this week against the Bears 52-21. Jared Goff, 334 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the day. You know, I love it when the quarterback controls the game, do not turn the football over. He completed 82.1% of his passes, 156 passer rating for Jared Goff. This performance was one of his best and most efficient games of his career, showcasing the upside with the Lions offense. 5 touchdown passes, tied a career high. His passer rating was just shy of the perfect 158.3 and the third best career passer rating of his career. That's Jared Goff, guys. Awesome game for Jared Goff. He gets consideration this week for Player of the Week. Up next, we have Jamar Chase. After Joe Burrow goes down with the toe injury in this game, Jake Browning replaces Joe Burrow in the game. He will be replacing Joe Burrow for the foreseeable future. Joe Burrow seems to be out, they say, with this toe injury. I think he's going to be undergoing surgery. He's going to be out for about 3 months at least, according to the Bengals. As the Bengals get the win over the Jaguars 31-27, and the Bengals are now 2-0 on the season. I think this is something that they haven't been able to do in quite some time. 14 receptions for Jamar Chase, 165 receiving yards, and the touch. This massive day carried the Bengals to a win after Joe Burrow's injury, proving his importance as a superstar playmaker for the Cincinnati Bengals. Chase recorded his 400th career reception, becoming the 5th fastest player in NFL history to reach that milestone, tying Julio Jones and Jarvis Landry. It was an exceptional day for Jamar Chase, over 165 yards, 14 catches, and the touchdown. Listen, man, anytime you put up those type of numbers at the wide receiver position, especially when you're number one, your quarterback goes down, your Pro Bowl, Joe Burrow, he goes down, and you're still able to put up these type of numbers. Now, what we're going to have to look at, can Jamar keep this up with Jake Browning taking the majority of the snaps in the upcoming weeks?
We'll see. We'll see if the Bengals will be able to maintain this. Will they be able to continue to win without Joe Burrow? And people are saying that it's going to be tough. You can't keep Joe Burrow healthy. How do you think you're going to be able to keep Jake Browning upright? But that remains to be seen. Jamar Chase, 14 catches, 165 yards, and the touchdown. Up next for Player of the Week this week, week 2, we have the backup quarterback in San Francisco as they beat the Saints 26-21. There is none other than Mac Jones coming over from New England, 279 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and you know I love this stat, 0 interceptions for the quarterback. I absolutely love it. First start for the 49ers, filling in for the injured Brock Purdy in his debut for the Niners. Mac Jones displayed remarkable composure and poise, leading an 80-yard touchdown drive on his opening series. This was Jones's 50th career NFL start, but his first for the Niners, and his performance provided a much-needed lift for a team missing their injured starting quarterback. Now, listen. This is going to be a theme for the week, guys. We talked about the injuries at the quarterback position that has happened. We just talked about Joe Burrow going down. Brock Purdy went down. Justin Fields out this week with the concussion. Who else went down? Even he came back in the game, but he did leave for a few moments, and that was the Bills quarterback. Josh Allen, he left the game for a couple of plays with an injury. It's just been a tough week for quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy is out, I think, for the next couple of weeks in Minnesota. So it's been a tough week in week 2 for quarterbacks, but Mac Jones filling in for Brock Purdy was able to come out and throw for 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in that game, and lead the 49ers to a win over the Saints 26-21. Up next for consideration for this week's Player of the Week, James Cook, running back for the Buffalo Bills, as they get the win over the Jets 30-10. James Cook, 132 rushing yards on the day, 2 rushing touchdowns. Cook's explosive performance, including a 44-yard touchdown run, powered the Bills' dominant ground game and sealed the win against a divisional rival. Now, that 44-yard run from Cooks was absolutely, it was like a Picasso. When you see this man, I'm like, he coming in, he drew oops with the spin, with the side step, break the tackle, and then score. Like, it was a great run by the veteran James Cook. With his 2 scores, Cook leads the league with 3 rushing touchdowns through 3 games. Next for Player of the Week consideration, we have quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, as he leads the Ravens with the enormous victory over the Browns, 41-17, 225 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and you know I love this stat, 0 interceptions for the former MVP, Lamar Jackson. He showcased an explosive passing game even as the Ravens' run game was stifled for a career first. This performance pushed Jackson ahead of Aaron Rodgers to become the NFL's all-time career leader in passer rating with 102.65. Lamar Jackson, with his 4 touchdown passes, he gets consideration for this week's Player of the Week. Up next, we have Jonathan Taylor. This is the second running back so far on the list for Player of the Week, as he helped lead his Colts to a 1-point victory over Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. 165 rushing yards off of 25 carries, 2 catches for 50 yards, and 1 touchdown. His massive all-purpose yardage included a 68-yard run and a 43-yard reception, and was crucial for the Colts' comeback win. Taylor's 215 all-purpose yards were the third most of his career and tied him with Edgar and James for the most games with over 200 scrimmage yards in Colts history. So he has the tie with Edgar and James with over 215 all-purpose yards, 165 rushing yards on the day for Jonathan Taylor. Up next, we have another running back, and this is our final entrance for consideration for Week 2's NFL Player of the Week, and that is second-year player Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons, as he helped propel the Falcons to a win over the Vikings 22-6. Bijan Robinson finished the game with 143 rushing yards off of 22 carries. That's 6.5 yards per attempt. 3 catches for 25 yards. Robinson demonstrated his elite elusiveness by breaking 9 missed tackles and single-handedly generated most of the offense for the Falcons in their victory. This was Robinson's second consecutive game with over 100 yards from scrimmage to start the season, continuing his dynamic play from 2024. Now, my youngins and my OGs, who do you think deserves the Take It to the Crib Player of the Week title? Let me know in the comments. Is it going to be Jared Goff? 334 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Or Jamar Chase, 14 catches, 165 yards to touchdown. Matt Jones, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Cooks, 132 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 225 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 165 yards on the ground, 50 yards in the air, 1 touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 143 rushing yards off 22 carries for the Falcons. Let me know in the comments who is the Take to the Crib Player of the Week. Y'all let me know what you think, who I think is the Player of the Week. In my opinion, if I had to go with, just gonna be honest, guys, y'all tell me who y'all think. We'll put it down, but for me,
pretty impressive considering cutting it at 167.
But for me, I would just have to say this week's Player of the Week. It's tough, guys. I listen. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Y'all let me know who is the Player of the Week. Who is the Player of the Week? It's tough, man. Like, dang, this is crazy. Let me just make a point. Let me just make one. I'm gonna have to make a decision. I'm gonna make a decision. You make, man. Okay. Jonathan Taylor is the Player of the Week. Jonathan Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts, running back, is the Player of the Week. 165 rushing yards, 6.6 yards per attempt, 2 catches for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. He had over 215 all-purpose yards. We have to give the Player of the Week for this week to Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts, and the Colts get to win 29-28. Y'all make some noise for Jonathan Taylor on his outstanding performance, tying Edgar and James for the most games with over 200 scrimmage yards in Colts history. And make some noise for Jonathan Taylor. He is this week, week 2, NFL Take It to the Crib Player of the Week. Make some noise for Jonathan Taylor. Okay, guys, that's it for this segment, man. That's my time. I appreciate you guys for listening. And like I said earlier, do me a favor. Find me on Instagram, TripleBeam01. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Welcome to the crib. Join the live hangouts on Twitter, TripleBeam Official. Until next time, my youngins and my OGs, I am out.